And coming up on DC News Now at noon, a pedestrian has been killed. We'll have a live report coming up. And a first case of monkeypox reported at a university. What the school is saying as students are preparing to head back. And good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. We begin with meteorologist Damon Matson with a check on the forecast. Hey, Damon, the sun is shining. Will it continue throughout the day?
Mark, it's nice to see that sunshine again after last evening. Did get a little bit soggy on us, and it looks like today the sunshine is going to favor us a little bit more so. And on top of that, we still have some comfortable temperatures, but it is going to start to warm up as we near the end of the week. Just how much warmer are we talking? We'll let you know in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, Fairfax County Police are on the scene of a deadly crash involving a pedestrian. DC News Now's Katie Ree is on the scene in Seven Corners. Katie, what's the latest?
Good afternoon, Mark. Now, as you can see behind me, Fairfax County Police just started to clear this scene. They've been here since about 8 o'clock this morning. So here's what we know right now. One person, a pedestrian, has been killed as a result of this accident, now making this the 13th pedestrian-related accident in the county this year. Now, police say they were first called here to Wilson Boulevard at around 8:30 this morning, and they told me that 2 cars were involved in this accident. They say one car crashed into another, and that vehicle then struck, the vehicle that was struck then hit the pedestrian. Both cars stayed on the scene, and the pedestrian was transported to a local hospital where they later died. Now, I talked to a neighbor a little while ago, and he says they're really not surprised that someone was hit here, and told me this.
When I try to cross Wilson on foot, it is quite difficult because cars are flying up and down. People are going 55, 60 miles an hour, and it's not even a highway. The intersection up there needs to be fixed. It needs to be blown up and redone. It's a horrible intersection. I think there is a plan to do something, but I think they need to increase the timeline of it.
Now, police are still trying to notify the next of kin involved in this accident, and we'll keep you up to date with the latest details as they become available to us. But for now, reporting live in Seven Corners, Katie Ree, DC News Now.
Katie, thank you. Well, the Trump Organization chief financial officer pled guilty in a tax evasion case. Alan Weisselberg admitted to taking over $1.7 million worth of untaxed perks. The judge agreed to sentence Weisselberg to 5 months in jail. The former CFO will also have to pay nearly $2 million in tax penalties and interest. Now, in October, Weisselberg will have to serve as a prosecution witness when the Trump Organization goes on trial on related charges. Well, a car struck a housing unit on Florida Avenue this morning. The people who lived there were evacuated safely. The driver was transported with minor injuries. The cause of the accident, or actually the cause of the damage, is considered substantial, and investigators are still trying to figure out how it happened. Well, new today, the family of a Northern Virginia student athlete is grieving the loss of their son. 19-year-old basketball player Kyle Honore was hit and killed by a train Tuesday on the Wingate University campus in North Carolina. His family had dropped him off there just days before. He graduated from Potomac High School in Dumfries. Hours before his death, his classmates say he was making friends in the university cafeteria.
I could tell he was a bright person. I mean, he had a smile on his face the whole time, and you could just tell he was excited to be here. He was ready to play basketball.
And local investigators say that they're going to continue to look into his death, and the investigation is ongoing. Monkeypox at the University of Maryland, UMD, is reporting its first case of the virus. DC News Now's Christy Matino tells us what the school is doing now to prevent the spread as students are set to return in less than 2 weeks.
The university says the staff member who has the first presumptive case of monkeypox here on campus is doing well and has taken the necessary medical steps. And now the UMD is also taking additional steps to help prevent the spread of monkeypox on campus. They're working with the Prince George's County Health Department and have implemented cleaning and disinfecting measures. But the school is asking students to take additional steps to protect themselves. They recommend avoiding contact with people who have a rash, as well as touching objects someone infected with monkeypox may have used.
It's a little triggering because I don't want to go through the process of a huge pandemic again. For me, I'll be wearing my mask and doing the things that I was doing during COVID.
While these steps can help prevent the spread, UMD says that there most likely will be more monkeypox cases in the future, potentially, as this virus continues to spread throughout the U.S. But they are working with the health center on campus here to monitor those cases and effectively communicate with students going forward as they are set to return on August 29th. In College Park, Christy Matino, DC News Now.
Sign, a rash that can look like blisters. Now, if you are a student who has questions, contact the University Health Center. An update to a story we first told you about earlier this week. 32-year-old Demetrius Hansford was arrested for allegedly vandalizing St. Anthony Catholic School in Brooklyn. D.C. police say he destroyed a statue, a bench, and a windowsill. Hansford is facing burglary and destruction of property charges. Well, developing now, a deadly shooting in Prince George's County overnight. This is video of the scene on Rochelle Avenue in District Heights from our contributor Larry Calhoun at DC Real Time News. The shooting happened around 10:30, and police say that one man was killed. His name has not been released. Anyone with information on the moments leading up to the shooting should contact police. Well, we are your local election headquarters tonight. Frederick County, Maryland's Democratic Central Committee is meeting after recent controversies surrounding candidates in one of the county's council races. Still in question, the District 3 race, council race, and who gets the nomination. Incumbent Council President McKeegan Ayer was beat by just one vote in the primary, losing to Jasmine DeCola. Now, a recount proved that razor-thin margin was correct. DeCola was later disqualified after it was found she did not meet residency requirements for that council spot. Election officials in Frederick County say it's a reminder of how much your vote really matters.
I tell everybody when we do voter education is every vote counts. And this just goes to prove it, that a single vote, every vote counts.
And the public meeting runs from 6:30 until 8:30 tonight. It will take place at the Democratic headquarters on West Patrick Street. Well, today, D.C. Fire and EMS is thanking the first responders who saved 28-year-old Amber Escudero-Cansa, who survived the deadly lightning strike that killed 3 people outside the White House earlier this month. The fire chief praised U.S. Park Police, Secret Service, and firefighters, to name a few, for their amazing and heroic efforts, who all worked together in the chain of survival and saved Amber's life. The fire chief says that Escudero-Cansa is now on the road to recovery. The game looks so easy. Playoff basketball, 2 of the sweetest words in the English language. This is a hype video the Washington Mystics posted ahead of tonight's tip-off. The Mystics will be in Seattle tonight, starting a best-of-3 series with the Storm. It's a rematch of the 2018 WNBA Finals. The Mystics looking to undo demons from 4 years ago. All eyes are on the matchup between Elena Delle Donne and Breanna Stewart, though the team knows it will take a well-rounded effort to beat Seattle.
I don't think you can just focus on one person. I think if you do, that gives their other players the right to go off as well. So it's definitely a team collective thing. I mean, they definitely have their 3-headed monster, but they've got people that add in things as well. So it's really not just a one-person thing with them, and I think that's what makes them a good team.
And our sports department says that Errol Atkins could be an X factor in this series. The guard's 3-point shooting stretching the floor for Delle Donne in the half-court set. And you can join the Mystics fans at you can join the Mystics fans at the As You Are DC and Southeast tonight. The watch party tips off at 10 p.m. But if you can't stay up for the West Coast basketball, we'll have the highlights tomorrow at 5 a.m.